Hey guys, welcome back to another match reaction. If I don't sound if I don't sound enthusiastic, you know why. And also I haven't got the adapter today, so the audio will sound not as crisp as it normally does, but it's still a good enough audio, so you can still hear pretty much what I need to say. But yeah, Portsmouth won, Arsenal 4. It's great to see Portsmouth again. It's been a hot minute, man. Like, it's almost like you forgot about these lot. Like, I don't even know what league they're in. There must be like League One or something. But yeah. So let's start with the lineup. Yeah. I was fairly happy with the lineup. I think, especially in a cup game, you want to see a lot of rotation, and these are the games where, especially when you're playing lower league opposition, it gives you the opportunity to kind of start to breed in some of the younger players, some of the academy players, and also it gives you an opportunity to experiment with the lineup, with the formation, with the way you approach certain games, play certain players in different positions, and see where it goes. That's the sort of approach you have if you're a manager that's very risk orientated. If you're a bit of a risk averse, it's not that kind of thing. But I was fairly happy. Kepa comes in. I was happy to see Gabriel in there, mainly because obviously he came for an injury, and it's good for him to get like a run of 90 minutes as well, or 80, or when did he come for, an 80 or something of minutes. White coming on was good. Norgard there, I wasn't too mad. It's a League One game. It's the FA Cup third round. And also bearing in mind we got obviously Chelsea in midweek, so these were the sort of times where you kind of have to start playing around with the lineup a little bit. I was happy to see Ethan in the lineup. I was happy to see Eze. As much as I'm not really keen on Marino in the midfield. Him in that setup actually was really good, and it's one of our better players. And obviously Havertz, Noni, and Martinelli as the front three. So it was definitely a well-rotated game. So where do we start with this? How we started? We didn't really start well. The first 15 minutes, I was starting to look, are we really going to struggle against Portsmouth? Aside that, we have not seen in the Prem since the days of Sol Campbell. Like, honestly, we've not seen them in the Prem for that long, and within the first 10 minutes they score. Poorly defended goal. I'm not sure why Kepa parries it like that. There was no pressure for him to, that ball wasn't hit with a lot of ferociousness. It was hit with a decent amount of power to trouble him, but a keeper of his quality, you'd like to think that should have been a very simple, straightforward parry that away and potentially get it for a corner, and we kind of go from there. But stupid goal to concede, and to be honest with you, I wasn't really worried up from that, mainly because I can see where we can get our opportunities. But for like the large first 15-20 minutes, we kind of struggled to play our way. But then once we start to get in, you kind of start to see, and I generally think Ethan, Norgard, and Marino were our three best players. And you can see, guys, where I see about an attacking player isn't a player who's just going to pop shots from 20 yards, or is going to constantly keep playing that ball in behind. And an attacking player, in a sense, is also a player how he receives the ball. And if you see a lot of Ethan's game today, it's exactly that. You see the way he receives the ball, his first thought is, I'm going forward. So the ball's out of his feet within the first body feint, the ball's out of his feet, and he's already going forward every time. And the way he carries that ball is something that I've been screaming about for a player within our midfield, because when you're having Rice, Zubi, and Odegaard, it's too passive sometimes. And I think to be fair, one of the main reasons why it's very passive is because of the mentality and the instructions that has been instilled with these players. Their approach to games isn't we're going to attack teams. We're more so going to slowly build from the back and gain opportunities when and when it comes. But when you see someone like Ethan, when he receives the ball instantly, one touch is out of his feet and it's gone. And and a lot of times today, he's looking for that 1-2. And Eze, although he didn't have a good game, he was linking up with Eze very well. Whenever he played that ball around the corner, Eze was there to receive it and flick it back. And those kind of give and goals are really good because it helps move the speed of the game, and also it helps us push on a bit further up the pitch. Because as good as Rice is, and I think he's a very good player, Rice isn't a player who can play in pockets. Rice is a player that likes the ball forward, not under pressure, and he can turn. That's not his game. And Zubimendi is a controller, not so much a player that can do that. So it was very good in that sense, where we're having Marino as the 6 and it's effectively 2 10s. And I think for a lot of games, that's how we should always set up Zubimendi, and then either Odegaard and Eze, or Odegaard and Ethan. That's how we should line up in a lot of games, guys, because you see the way once we started to get going in this game, you can see just how well we were pushing the ball up top. And obviously it helps when you're having someone like Jesus who's able to receive the ball, turn and dribble. And for that penalty, you can see exactly that. You know, you don't get that with someone like Gyökeres, who I'll actually get into towards the end. But yeah, Eze, he had a quiet game, especially for someone who's not been playing for a fair bit. And you look at someone like Ethan, who's almost 9 years younger than you. You know, you look at how he just came into this game and just looked instantly sharp. He was receiving he was playing with a purpose, and was playing with a certain level of hunger that you need to play for someone like him as well. And for example, those subs were just stupid, to be honest with you. Odegaard does not need to come on, Zubimendi does not need to come on, and Timber does not need to come on. We are 3-1 up, 3-4-1 up. We do not need these players to come on. This is the sort of game you just let them sit on the bench, because there's no need. This game is very physical, and I was really annoyed that Ethan came off. I would have liked to see Norgard come on, and then that kid, 84, I forgot his name. He should have probably started, because to be honest with you, I was actually quite happy to see another kid play. I'm always very positive about some of our Hayland Academy players coming on, because we always need to see some of these academy graduates coming through the team, and it's always good to see them play. But yeah, going back to Eze had a poor game. I'm not sure what he's not affecting the game enough is my issue, and he's not getting involved with the play as much. Ethan, on the other hand, is picking up the ball and is able to just drive forward and try and create something. He looked like the player that was trying to do something. Eze, I'm not really sure. It's almost like he's waiting for someone to tell him, okay, Eze, let's play. Like, you're playing Porsmouth. You know, sometimes if the ball's not coming to you, you have to go find it. And this is the thing I have an issue with Gyökeres as well. You know, he's not getting the opportunities and he's not getting on the ball. Yeah, okay, cool. Go find it. Go find the ball. That's why Jesus there is great, because Jesus doesn't hang on the last defender. If he's not getting a touch in the next 2 or 3 minutes, he goes looking for it. And that's what we want with our strikers sometimes. But Noni, you know, cool as you like, easy on the spot, and you missed the target. Like, this, guys, I've told you like so many times with Noni, like, he does a lot of nothing. Like, he's very productive in a sense that he looks dangerous, but that penalty, you set the keeper the wrong way, and you set the ball the wrong way. Like, that ball was nowhere near the target. Like, this is the thing. Like, he had so much time He had so much time to place that ball, and he just completely missed the target. And it's the same thing. What game was it? Was it Crystal Palace in the cup, where the ball landed to him? He sets himself. He's looking at the keeper, and hits it straight at the goalkeeper. It's the same chance here. You know, you're starting. The keeper's going left. He's going left. Keeper's right, and you completely missed the target. And it's like, what was, like, honestly, like, it's just, he did somewhat of a good game, but yeah. And then Martinelli again. Oh, honestly, I know he scored a hat trick, but he could have had about 6, because there's a chance he had in the first half where he was through on goal. Again, him as well. Sets the keeper goes the other way, and you still missed the target. And then another chance, brilliant ball by Ben White across goal. You don't even sort your feet, you hit the post. So, yeah, that game could have been 5-1 out of sight in the first half, and no one would have batted an eyelid. But yeah, that game was great. A bit annoyed to see Odegaard, Zubimendi, and these players coming on, because they didn't need to come on at any point. They only, to me, if I'm the manager, the only time I bring these guys on is when the game is on the verge of us losing. We're on the verge of losing this game. Okay, stop messing about now. Get some of your guys on. But that game, we didn't need Odegaard. It didn't affect the game in any way. Zubimendi didn't affect the game in any way. Ethan coming off was a bit annoying. I would have loved to see him get 90 minutes. Because you and I both know he's not playing next week, and we probably will not see this kid until like March or something. So get him minutes. He should be on the bench, guys. I'll be so real. Like, I sound like someone who's running his PR or something. I'm really not. I just think this kid has so much potential, and we're wasting it. I don't want to see him go out on loan, but we're wasting this kid's potential by just constantly leaving him out at the team, because you can see him and Noni are the only players in this team constantly that have that mindset of, every time I get the ball, I want to drive forward. Although Noni's one looks a bit kamikaze, every time he has the ball, he has that thought of, I'm going to get this ball and I'm going this way. Either you can come with me or you can stay there. And Ethan has that, but his one is more silk and there's more ability to it. Every time he receives the ball, it's very crisp on his touch. Noni, on the other hand, it's a bit here and there. Other than that, great to see Havertz come on. Had a good game. 3 set pieces against Porsmouth. Look, just needs to win one of these cups in the Prem. And yeah, I can survive another year of football with him. But yeah, this football is not the one. You kind of kill the momentum a little bit when we made those subs. We didn't need to see Odegaard. I was a bit annoyed with that. I like Odegaard, but he didn't need to come on. That game would have just stayed the same as it is and get the kid some minutes. Skelly, on the other hand, I'm not sure what the hell happened to this kid. If we play him on the weekend, against Chelsea, we might lose. I'd love to see him in midfield today. I guess we'll never see that. But yeah, and also I saw this thing by the New York Times. Was it the New York Times? Sorry, it's the Football Athletic. Oh God. They published this stat about Gyökeres, and to be honest with you guys, look, we didn't need those stats to tell us exactly what we thought about this guy anyway. I'm in that boat where I'm saying, come this summer, we need to be in the market for a striker. I think this summer, our key focus definitely 100% needs to be on the attacking line, because Martinelli needs to cut. I've seen enough. He needs to cut. So we need a left winger. We need another striker. So 2 positions there, really, that we need to focus on. I know right winger, we're not going to really focus on that. And maybe another midfielder in replace of Marino maybe, but I'm hearing Marino's new contract signed in, so I don't know. On to the next round. Hopefully we get some nice and easy round. Decent-ish, okay-ish performance. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.